True crime: the judge who shot his wife. Pushpin Jeffrey Ferguson, when justice pulled the trigger on itself. Drop of blood, all because of a thank you card that was never sent. A life was taken, and a career of honor shattered in a split second. Adult Scales Part 1: The Men Who Stood Above the Law. Jeffrey Ferguson, born in 1950, was the very image of a respected legal figure in the U.S. justice system, well-educated, calm, and with nearly 4 decades of experience in law. Earned a biology degree from UC Irvine in 1973. Later pursued law at Western State University. By 1983, he became a deputy district attorney for Orange County, California. Recognized multiple times for his work prosecuting drug crimes. In 2014, Ferguson was elected as a Superior Court judge of Orange County, a position of great authority. He presided over hundreds of high-profile criminal cases involving murder, narcotics, and abuse. He once stated, "It's my duty to guide justice to where it belongs, not faster, not slower, but precisely." Ironically, he would become the one to derail it completely. House Part 2: The Perfect Family with a Dark Core. Judge Ferguson had married twice. His second wife, Cheryl Ferguson, affectionately called Cher, was known as a warm, charming woman loved by her neighbors. They lived in a spacious home in Anaheim Hills, a 30,000 square feet property with a garden, pool, and a private arsenal in the basement. They had a son together, Philip, a college student who often returned home during school breaks. To outsiders, they seemed like the ideal family: smiling vacation photos, elegant holiday dinners, and an aura of success. But behind closed doors, Jeff harbored a dangerous side. He always carried a gun, even outside of work. Held a concealed carry license and kept a Glock hidden in an ankle holster. Drank alcohol regularly, even while armed, a violation of firearm regulations. Colleagues claimed he had a bizarre habit of pulling out his gun as a joke. His home contained 47 firearms and over 26,000 rounds of ammunition. He often boasted, "I've got more guns than a police station." Cocktail Glass Part 3: The Dinner That Turned Deadly. On the evening of August 3, 2023, the Fergusons and their son Philip had dinner at El Cholo, a local Mexican restaurant in Santa Ana. The night turned tense over something trivial: a thank you card that was never sent. Cher had gifted $2,000 to Jeff's son from his previous marriage, Kevin. She felt disrespected when Kevin didn't send a thank you note. Jeff was annoyed by her complaints and responded with a chilling gesture. He mimicked pointing a gun at her at the dinner table, and laughed. Cher was visibly upset and stormed out of the restaurant. Jeff stayed behind, sipping his margarita. Back at home, the family sat down to watch Breaking Bad, a bizarre attempt to lighten the mood. But the tension lingered. As they discussed the gun gesture again, Cher snapped, "Why don't you just point the real gun at me instead?" And then, it happened. Jeff pulled out his Glock 27 from his ankle holster and fired a single bullet into his wife's stomach. Brain Part 4: A Life Ends, A Legacy Collapses. Cher collapsed, bleeding, and in shock. Her final words: "He shot me." Their son, Philip, witnessed the entire thing. He wrestled the gun away from his father, pinned him down, and called 911. Jeff also called 911, but when asked directly if he shot his wife, he avoided the question. "We need an ambulance." Immediately. Responding officers found a blood alcohol level of 0.065%, 7 hours after the incident. Experts believe it may have been as high as 0.17% at the time of the shooting. Twice the legal driving limit. Jeff also texted a colleague that night, "I lost it. I just shot Cher. I won't be in court tomorrow. I'll be in custody." Scales Part 5: From the Bench to the Defense Stand. On August 7, 2023, Ferguson was arrested and charged with second-degree murder with a firearm enhancement. he pleaded not guilty. He posted a $1 million bail and was released while awaiting trial. His first trial in March 2025 ended in a hung jury, but in April, during his retrial. Verdict. Charge: second-degree murder. Sentence: up to 40 years to life in prison. Sentencing date: June 13, 2025. Puzzle piece part 6, a weak defense versus hard facts. Ferguson's attorney claimed he only meant to place the gun on the table. His shoulder was weak from surgery, and his finger slipped. But prosecutors fired back. If his shoulder was so weak, how did he retrieve and aim a loaded gun from his ankle? This wasn't an accident. It was a moment of rage. They painted him as an intelligent man blinded by pride, who believed the law did not apply to himself. Pushpin Part 7, Justice Shoots Itself in the Foot. Jeffrey Ferguson once held one of the highest seats in the courtroom. Now he's behind bars, on the other side of the gavel. A man who once sentenced others for murder, who preached about morality and responsibility, couldn't even control his own temper. One angry comment. One bad habit. One drink too many, and a lifetime of service came crashing down in a single trigger pull. Firecracker Part 8, Final Thoughts, Questions to Ponder. This case forces us to confront painful questions. How was a man with anger and alcohol issues legally allowed to carry weapons daily? How can someone who knows the law inside out still commit a violent crime? Does power make some people feel untouchable? Most haunting of all. In a country where guns are everywhere, just one moment of rage is enough to end a life and destroy another. Speaking head in silhouette, what do you think? Backhand index pointing right, was it an accident, or a crime of passion? Backhand index pointing right, does Ferguson deserve life in prison? Backhand index pointing right, should laws on gun access, especially for judges and officials, be stricter? Comment below backhand index pointing down, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more chilling true crime breakdowns.